Good morning, fig friends. It is August the 18th. And I've got some ripe black Madeira. They started to produce, this black Madeira started to produce in early August sometime. August 5th, something like that. I don't know what. I made a video back then. And I picked another one a few days ago, and now I notice there's a bunch getting ripe all at the same time. The Black Prince, as I have dubbed it. I think I'll refer to it that way from now on, personally. And it is indeed the prince of figs, to say the least. And this particular strain, and I don't believe there are a lot of strains of black Madeira. You just got to get kind of lucky to get a good one. There are good growers out there that grow healthy figs. If you get one from them, like obviously I have last year as a cutting or as a small starter cutting, then you will have accomplished your goal, which is to add black Madeira to your collection. Black Madeira is black Madeira, and what you do with it, I think, is the important factor. Getting one that's grown by someone who knows what they're doing is certainly the first step. Getting a healthy tree. And then feeding it, and I have made some previous videos for your benefit, and for my own record, as I'm growing older. If you feed it the right things and give it plenty of water as it calls for it, do not thirst your trees. Do not do that. I'm going to make another video which is going to dispel a lot of misconceptions out there as I see it. Remember, for what it's worth. Remember that. I always add that in my videos, my postings, because it's my opinion. Everybody has an opinion. But I'm going to do that. That will come later with a lot of other videos that I intend to make to help guide people, new enthusiasts, and maybe some old. Give them some pointers. I'm always looking for pointers. Sharing, that's the whole idea about all of this to me. It's about sharing. Sharing information about my favorite hobby, growing figs. I love growing things and I love growing figs. But back to black Madeira. You can see that it can be done. It can be grown successfully in the Northeast. I'm in zone 7A, as I've stated many times. So at least I will tell you with absolute 100% certainty it can be done, because you're looking at it. And I've eaten a couple of these already. And I ate a few last year. It was just a small little tree, and they got ripe well within the season. But you have to do certain things. You have to be willing to give it an early start. You don't really need a greenhouse for black Madeira, but it helps. But you don't need it if you are willing to take your tree, say April the 1st, and start putting it out in the sun. If you have a warm place, even before that, get it out of the cold. Always give it warm water. If you have to put the water in the house in a 5-gallon bucket overnight, it's free. The water in the bucket will eventually reach room temperature. That's what you want to water your Black Madeira, any fig. I never give my figs cold water, ever. I pour those thermal units into the container. And it pays off. Big dividends, as you can see. Warm water. I use composted manure tea, and I feed them composted manure tea all the time. It's no big deal. It's highly diluted, will never burn your plant, never, but gives them a constant supply of nutrients, valuable nutrients. And of course, I give them, as I've said in my previous videos, calcium. I give them crushed volcanic minerals that comes right out of the deep earth, which is volcanic in nature. And I believe in these things. Crushed oyster shells, I believe in that. Organic, I always use organic fertilizers. I believe in them. Rainwater, if you can get it. Rainwater is better than faucet water, for sure. And this tree, along with my other trees, has grown magnificently. Look at it. This is only its second season. It's a beauty. Black Madeira. You can do it too. I've mentioned in another video that this thing just pumps out figs. Every single leaf, every leaf has a fig. And I mentioned that I popped, here's some little figs growing on new growth recently. And I popped off these. There was one on every fig, and some of them, one on every leaf. And some of them were really, you know, maybe these last couple here down here, I might have gotten right, but I popped them off anyway, so what? Just to help focus the energy, channel the energy, divert the energy into the new growth for next year's fig production. This is going to go to a larger pot, not much larger. That's another subject that we will talk about, because I like keeping the roots compacted so that for fig production. There's nothing like that. Getting into a bigger pot is not the way to go. That's my opinion. You know, I mean, within reason, yes, you certainly have to upscale. You have to up pot. But within reason, there's the qualifier. That's always the qualifier with everything in life. And figs too. Within reason. Within reason. But this is probably my final video on Black Madeira. It's been a successful endeavor on my part. I've really enjoyed it. I have another Black Madeira plant too, which is growing very nicely. It's grafted on another rootstock. It's beautiful. And next year's, I popped off all the figs this year so it would grow more. I might have left one or two. And my Preto I put in the ground in a pot with holes in it, and it's grown like a weed. Next year that'll be taken care of. That'll produce a lot of figs next year. This will produce a lot of figs next year. This is a beautiful tree. Look at it. Look at all this growth. It's beautiful. Healthy. You can do it. And that's why I'm making this video. And you can get them to ripen plenty early enough to enjoy. You just got to be willing to do a little work. Now, if you're not, if your lifestyle isn't conducive to that, let's say, then you shouldn't bother with Black Madeira. Because it is a late, that's the only thing that I would tell you. I mean, some people say they split and this. I don't know, if you water it right, I don't have any split figs. You've seen all my videos. I don't understand it. I don't. And I would only caution it is a late fig. No question. But not It's not as late, I think, as some of the Cultivars and other great figs, great tasting figs, which you may know about, or some of you may be growing. But I don't really like too late figs. They're not going to be in my collection. That's a judgment call that anybody can make, and that's okay. That's fine. There's a lot of good varieties out there. Let's be clear on that. And if you have the facilities, the wherewithal, the knowledge to grow them, then all the better. Do it. But I've got to tell you something here. I'm going to make a statement. When I first started growing Black Madeira last year, I wanted, I'm an old Italian guy, old school. I've grown many, many varieties of figs through the years, many of which were failures because they just weren't suitable for New Jersey or Virginia or for the Northeast. They cracked, they split, the rain ruined them, the cold nights of September and the rains that come with fall completely ruined what would have been great crops, great production in another state where you had a longer summer. So I dumped them. Hey, no dead weight. There you go. Another pointer. No dead weight. Got rid of them, dumped them, trashed them. Waste of time. Why bother when there are so many suitable varieties that you can grow, both in the ground and in containers, once you've learned what they are and how to do it? But getting back to my story about the Black Madeira, when I first started growing, I thought, I'm going to end up condemning this fig because I'm a little outspoken sometimes. Can't you tell? And I thought that I might. I thought that I might add it to the list of too late figs that weren't practical, that you couldn't count on. And believe me, I think I beat that drum. Figs you can count on. That's what I'm all about. And that's what growing figs is all about to me. Figs. Growing figs. I'm not a collector in the sense of just collecting a bunch of names. I'm a collector in the sense that I try to focus on the varieties that are practical, you can count on, that are going to produce an abundance, not just a few, an abundance of figs, and I'm going to get to eat them and share them with my friends and family. Well, getting back again to Black Madeira, I thought I was probably going to end up not recommending it. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. I'm going to cut this kind of short. I'm going to pick that fig and cut it for you. It is the Black Prince of figs. I've featured, all my figs have ripened now that I have in my collection. I have just Genovese Nero, which is, in my opinion, the same as I-258. And it's ripe too. There's one in there right now. I'm looking at it. And I'll be probably doing a video on it to show that it is the same as I-250, in my opinion. And let's see. I don't think there are any other figs that haven't gotten ripe. Many of them are finished. My Smith is essentially done. Completely. My Ronde Bordeaux, though, keeps pumping out new figs. That's another big plus for Ronde Bordeaux. It's earlier, produces longer, for a longer period of time. It's delicious. It's rain resistant. It is a magnificent cultivar, and it continues to pump out figs when other varieties pretty much, are spent, have quit. We'll talk more about that in the future. But I have to tell you, if you're willing to take the extra measures and give it the proper food and the recommendations I've made and other good growers have made before me, Black Madeira is a prince of figs, the Black Prince. It's a wonderful cultivar. I love it. It produces a lot of figs. If it didn't do that, it wouldn't make my list. It just produces a lot of figs. It's productive, it's beautiful. If you get a good specimen, it's healthy, it's vibrant. Again, buy from someone reputable, and there are good sellers out there that you can rely on. And hey, watch out. There's some scammers out there too. We're going to talk about them at another time. But let's not forget the fact that there are some very, very reliable, dependable, honest people who will sell you the variety that you're purchasing. It will be accurate, and it will be a good specimen. And you'll be happy. Now I'm going to say something that I never thought that I would ever say. Ever. As an old Italian man grower who tried a few new varieties last year for the first time. I built my greenhouse. Let's take a quick walk. I came out here and I looked things over and I said, wow, wouldn't it be nice to attach a lean-to greenhouse to my large shed, which is, it starts over 10 foot tall on one end and it goes down to 7 foot on the other. And it's 16 and a half feet long. And I designed it. And I made trapdoors on the top. You can see the strings that operate the trapdoors. I can open and close them at will. In the summer they stay open. I remove panels. It collects rainwater, all I need just about. There's my beautiful Black Madeira. I remove panels here. You can see this is just a screen. And all the panels there, and then the other side too. I keep the doors open. There's double doors in the front and back. I designed it carefully, given what I know about gardening and things. And it has turned out to be perfect. I just love it, I have to say. Sorry, I know I'm biased and partial, but I love the greenhouse. There are no nails. It's all stainless steel screws and other screws that won't rust. I started building this thing February the 1st. I remember it was in dead of winter with snow on the ground. Everybody thought I was kind of cracked. Maybe I am. But I had a vision in my mind. I put 6,000 pounds of stone in here, by the way. Something like that. About 3 tons, 2.5 tons. But I had an idea, I had a vision. And I came out with my big hooded coat and my mittens and my boots, and I froze while I built the foundation. And I didn't want any help. My son would have helped me. But I knew that I didn't write down any plans. And so I knew that, well, if I let him help me, we're going to get into scuffles, arguments about how to do this and that. And I already thought it out. And so I just went about building it. I reinforced every other, you can see the roof rafters, they're doubled up. Every other one is doubled. It's all sealed. It is very strong. No matter how much snow will fall on it, the wind can't touch this greenhouse. It just can't. Don't do anything to it. Trust me, I built it. I took time to think it out, and I just like the results. Now, sorry, I guess that's a little bit of bragging, but I am proud of my greenhouse, and I wanted to share it with you. It's more that than anything else. Those Christmas bulbs, I just put them up there just for decoration. I just like it. I got a little solar light up there. You can see. At nighttime, it's very the atmospheric, let's say. But I've grown a lot of figs in my lifetime, and I would just like to say something that I never really thought I'd probably say. Black Madeira is one of the tastiest figs I've ever eaten. And I say one of, because when people ask me, what's your top tasting fig? I say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I won't say one. Because what day are you picking it? Is it fully ripe? Did it rain 2 days ago heavily? I mean, there's 1,000 factors that go into tasting figs. But over a period of time, you can get an idea. And it is in the very top tier of the best tasting figs that I have ever eaten. That's all I really need to say about it. So to me, it's worth growing, and because it's productive, and because you can do it. You can do it. You see that. So I am going to recommend Black Madeira. Never thought I would. Thought I'd say, hey, it's one of those designer figs, forget about it, because it's not going to produce. You're going to grow it all year, you're going to kill yourself, and you're going to get 3 figs, or you're going to grow a couple little straggly sticks, and they're going to make 1 fig. Hey, I'm sorry, growing figs is hard work. It's not worth it. It has to be worth it. A variety has to be worth growing. This one, to me, and it's my opinion, is worth growing. And I will continue to grow it. I will continue to grow my Preto, and I will continue to grow my other Black Madeira. I'm not going to go, I haven't air layered this. I'm not going to have 80,000 figs. I don't believe in that. I believe in taking care of what I have. And yeah, have copies, of course. But keep it real. Keep it real. I have to, because I'm growing a little older now. Never thought that would happen. But I feel good, got a lot of energy. Keep busy. So I'll have a few of these, a couple. And I think I've probably worn out the subject of Black Madeira today. I don't think I'll be doing any more videos on Black Madeira. Maybe I will. Let's wait and see. But let me pick this one. It's got honey dripping out of it. Wow, it's on there. It's on there pretty good. There it is. I'm fond of this fig. I'm very fond of it. I know that I can grow it, and I know that I can make it produce early, and so can you. Now, how am I going to cut this fig? Okay, here I go. Hold on a second. Be right back. Getting out my trusty knife. Give it a cut. Here we go. My goodness. Wow. Wow. Who could say no to that? Wow. Look at that. Would you please? It's such a great fig. Yeah, like I said, I thought all the hype, forget about it. It's not practical. It's one of those worthless designer figs that will command a high price, and people will grow and buy and pay all that money for, and then end up being disappointed. Well, I'm not disappointed. Okay? Conclusively, I can state for the record that I am very satisfied with Black Madeira. Love this fig for a lot of reasons. And I should take a look at all the nectar in that. Look at that. Look at the syrup. Look how rich and colorful and jammy. syrupy. Look at that, honey, honey tones. And the flavor is so intense. It's so rich. It's so worth it. It's worth it. And it's a fig that you can count on if you do it right. If you use the right methods. That's what it's all about. Using the right methods. It can be done. Now, should I bite this or should I give this one to my wife? Well, we're going to share this. I'll take a bite. Look at that. I'm going to take a little bite. Oh my God. It is divine. It is so rich. Oh, the flavor there's an after flavor that just kicks in. I can't explain it. It's just there. You feel it when you bite in, and then you feel it developing in the back of your throat, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hits you like a hammer. Big hammer. Okay, this video has gone far too long. I apologize for my enthusiasm. You can forgive me, can't you? Have a wonderful day. We're drifting away from the solstice, unfortunately, speeding towards fall. Wow, look at that. Can you see how delicious this fig is? Yes, see it. I say that all the time. I can see how this fig tastes. I think you're starting to get a feel for it too now. You know that's a good one. Well, it's going to be a little sad saying goodbye to summer, but we still have a lot of figs to eat. I'm not going to walk over there because if I see that I've got a lot of Lebanese red that are ripe on the tree, maybe I'll post some photos or do a little separate video. It's loaded. And my Nordland, I should add that. My Nordland hasn't come in yet, but it got a very late start. That's another story. But for the most part, everything has ripened. Everything has come into fruition that should have. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for your visit. Good day.